the Board of Governors of the National Hockey League have granted conditional franchises to the applicants representing the city of Ottawa. There's one more. And Tampa.
You can't give Phil Esposito really enough credit when you think about NHL hockey moving into the South, because in 1989, 1990, when they started to push forward with the National Hockey League to make a bid to get a franchise in Tampa, there was no Florida Panthers or Nashville Predators or Dallas Stars or Carolina Hurricanes. There was uncertainty whether hockey could be successful in the South.
I love this game. There's nothing more in the world that I've ever wanted to do than to play. To be now part owner of this thing, it is absolutely the greatest thrill I've had since that 1972 in Russia.
Building through an expansion draft is certainly not an easy task, but the Tampa Bay Lightning, when you look at it, they did pretty well. They ended up getting a number of players that ended up being really helpful guys for them. They got Brian Bradley in the expansion draft from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, Brian Bradley had not been a terrific player during his career. He had bounced around a little bit with Calgary and Toronto and Vancouver, but Tampa Bay picked him, and in his first year with the Lightning, he scored 42 goals, so he was a big part of things there. So they drafted, I thought, better than the Ottawa Senators did in that expansion draft, and it set them up to really be a better team during their first couple of seasons.
2.5 years ago, we started out with a dream, and this is it right here tonight, folks. It's the beginning of the dream.
A lot of excitement, obviously, for hockey fans in Florida and in the Tampa area. Excited to have the chance to see NHL hockey, and they came out on opening night and had a great game. They ended up beating the Chicago Blackhawks 7-3. Chris Kontos, who had been a guy that had moments throughout his NHL career, he had a moment on opening night for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He scored their first goal, but then he scored 3 more, so he ended up the night with 4 goals. The Lightning win big. Terry Crisp behind the bench, he was the coach of that team. And they went on to have a pretty good first season. They had 23 wins in their first year. That's 13 more than the Ottawa Senators put together in their first year. And then the Lightning, of course, as we know, they built a much better team in the early 2000s and went on to win the Stanley Cup in 2004.